As in this timeline, after Alastor was captured by Vox, his, soul contract with Rosie automatically went up because he lost a fight. Now, we don't know if that's how that works, and it probably doesn't. Vox probably has to become stronger than him, but for the sake of the scenario and to make it easier, we're just going to say it works in this timeline, alright? So after Vox captured him, he was free from Rosie, and all he had to do was put up with Vox's crap, being captured by him, being paraded by him, until eventually one day, as Vox was gone, he would break out of his ropes and escape. After escaping, he was a free man. It was time to get his revenge on Rosie, as his revenge idea would be perfect. Now, since he's free, you can't really walk in there. She's going to be mad that she no longer owns his soul. And since he's no longer at the hotel, she won't know where he is, so he had to lay low. So that's what Alastor does. He simply lays low, and no one's really heard of him. No one's really seen him in such a long time. As they simply waited and waited. He was gathering up the perfect plan as he waited in the shadows. As we cut to someone unexpected, we cut to Husk. Husk was free now. Even though Alastor still owned his soul, he didn't even show up anymore, and he didn't really care about the hotel. He could pretty much do whatever he wanted, but he was going to stay here because he was happy about it. As he went to his room one day, suddenly someone would appear. As Husk would simply lay down and smile, enjoying everything, enjoying his new life. As Alastor appeared and said, "What's up?" Husk would say, No, please don't. Alastor, relax. I'm going to give you freedom in exchange for a deal. Husk would say, "Here's that deal crap again. I want you to go to Rosie and act like I died. And live there. Live there with her. Are you serious right now? You want me to go to the hotel to live in the cannibal town? Are you serious? Fine." As Husk would shake hands with Alastor, he would be free. As Alastor would say, "Excellent, now that's a free Nifty just to make sure. She doesn't even want to be free, but we'll fix it up." As Alastor walked away, Husk would sigh. "She is crazy." As then Husk would go to Cannibal Town and meet with Rosie, as Rosie would stare at him and say, "Oh, hi, Husker. I could tell that Alastor's not here." Her eyes would snap. "After he fought Vox, I lost control of him. And then he's gone. Everyone's saying he died. He can't die. I made him stronger than anyone. Vox couldn't have gotten stronger than him. That would be impossible," she said as she grabbed onto the table. As she looked very pissed, Husk was nervous, and he had a right to be, as he said, "He's dead." Alright then. You want to live here, don't you?" "Well, yeah, makes you seem like a spy," Husk would then say. "If I was a spy, why would I come here? After all, he couldn't set one foot here, and you're gonna isolate me anyway." Rosie would say, True. There's no magical device on you." "Alright then. You can come in." Husk was actually there to ease Rosie, because Rosie would expect him as a spy, but after hearing nothing from him and proving that nothing happened, she would think that maybe he is dead, as Rosie would let in Husk. After Rosie let in Husk, Husk would stay there for a while and get to know them all. He somewhat enjoyed it there. I mean, at least he was free, but why was he here? Was Alastor going to possess him or do something crazy? They had an eye on him all the time. Either way, he was simply going to stay put. As then we cut to Nifty, who felt sad that she couldn't see Alastor anymore. And Alastor knew this, as she cleaned and cried. Eventually, one day, something would happen, as Alastor would appear to her. As Nifty would say, Alastor, as they would both hug. As then Alastor would laugh and say, "I need to come up with a plan. I faked my death, but Rosie's too smart. She'll go looking for me. I need an idea to when to find her. And I need you to make me something. I have to lay low, no one can see me, so can you get these materials?" Alastor would give her a list, as Nifty would nod and begin to run off. As then Alastor would sigh. He was a gentleman, so he had to do this. As we cut to Charlie, Charlie was sitting down sad. She heard the rumor. She knew that Alastor was dead. She couldn't believe it. She remembered when she thought she was dead, when she thought that he was gone. But he came back after the battle with Adam, but now it's really here. As suddenly Alastor would appear before her and say hi, as then she would scream, "Ah!" as Charlie just screamed and screamed and screamed. As in, Alastor would say, calm down. I don't want you to bring everyone in here. You're alive? Yes. Someone owned my soul, so I faked my death and got freedom. But I have a plan to get rid of them. But a lot of stuff's gonna go down. I can't guarantee I'm gonna live. Charlie would say, why are you telling me this? Because, darling, I walked into your life. I walked into your hotel, and I demanded everything I got. So now I would like to say, farewell, Charlie, farewell, hotel, farewell to you, farewell to all, farewell. As then Charlie would say, so you're just leaving like that? Wouldn't it make more sense not to tell me? You know I'm a blabbermouth. Wait, do you want people to know you're alive? Is that part of your plan, do you? Alastor would say, stop overthinking things. Goodbye. As then Alastor would disappear. Vaggie would run in and say, who was that? Charlie would say, it doesn't matter. It was an old friend, I think, maybe. That part's complicated. As then we cut to Nifty. As Nifty was getting the parts throughout all of hell, she would go to the bottom of a lake. She would go into forest. She would go into restaurants. All these parts were random, but together, mixed with magic, it would be perfect. As then she would meet Alastor in a warehouse and say, here you go! Alastor would then smirk. Finally, I did it. My revenge can be set in plan. I got it. Now I can take over hell with a swan. As Alastor would say, Nifty, you always serve me so loyally. Why? Nifty would say, because you're a bad boy. And I like that. As then she would laugh and start to sing. I like bad boys. I like bad boys. They're so bad. Yes, they are. As Alastor would say. She really is an insane one, but I couldn't do without her. As then Alastor would walk out and pretend to be hiding, as suddenly men would come in and capture him. But this was all part of the plan, as they would start to drag him towards Rosie, as he smirked. Rosie would be pissed. Rosie would be livid as she would see Alastor. As Alastor looked up at her, she would look down at him. So, you've gotten your freedom. You've gotten everything you ever wanted. Yet, you still failed to be sneaky. You even sent Husk here to make it seem like you're actually dead. What a dumb move, Alastor. Just shake my hand and you'll be under me again, but I'll let you live. As then Alastor would look up and sigh. As then Alastor would slowly pull out his hand. As Rosie would grab it, something would happen. Alastor put a device on his hand, a device which would explode, destroying his hand and burning her face permanently and destroying her arm. As she fell to the floor and cried, Alastor would say, I just gave him a hand to beat you. Fair trade, if you ask me. As then, he would pull out an angelic dagger. As Rosie was lit on fire, she would say, F you. As then, Rosie would say, you really think I'm the bag? I gave you all these powers. I gave you everything you asked for. And I told you straight up what the deal was. And yet you kill me? Alastor, why? Alastor would say, fair or not, I know I was a gentleman. But you see, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You took my soul. You took me under you. You made me into your pet. Now I'm putting you down. Like a rabid dog that kills its master. You are going down, down, down. As then Rosie would cough up blood. The fire on her burnt her to a crisp. As then Alastor would slice her throat just to make sure she was dead. As it was no more, Rosie was defeated. Alastor got his revenge. Alastor would walk into a shop and get a mechanical arm. He hated this, especially since he didn't like new technology, but didn't really have much of a choice. As now, with his new arm and with his new powers, it was time for him to expand even further. It was time for him to prove that he was the strongest, and now no one could truly hold him back. He made a deal with Nifty. And that's where I'll leave things off. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Sorry it took me so long to make this video. I just had a bunch of stuff going on. I was like, I'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow came, and it never happened. This is the latest I've ever been for a video. But yeah, I still got it done. Usually I do for Charlie and stuff, because I know that gets views, but I like the Radio Demon. He's cool. And revenge on Rosie is interesting. Also, Alastor's a hypocrite, because, you know, he was like, Vox, you shouldn't rely on anyone, even though he relied on someone to get all of his powers. And he knew what he signed up for, and now he's complaining, you know what I mean? So yeah, but I still decided to let him get his revenge and just destroy Rosie.
The reason why I had him blow up part of his body is because, well, I feel like he'll have to sacrifice a lot to get what he wants, but he'll do it. Like, Alastor is literally letting Vox humiliate him just so he goes free. Also, Alastor pissed off Vox a long time ago. Maybe he believes in Vox, and he always thought he was strong enough to just eventually surpass him. That's why he egged him on. And when Vox realizes this, it will change him. Or maybe Alastor's just a a-hole. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, love you all. Peace out.